Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Rob Races and Rebuilds. Today we are going to fix a bunch of front end issues with the Dumpster Fire SI. I want to start by addressing some of the issues here on the front of the car, showing you guys what we need to do and what it looks like now. So our ABS lines are intact and the ABS sensors work, but unfortunately someone broke all the clips on them, so they don't stay in place. So we're going to have to zip tie or make some type of clamps to get those back in place so no damage occurs to them. On this side, we've got a coiled up brake line. It's under massive tension. I do plan to do the brakes on this car in a separate video, but unfortunately I'm still waiting on parts for those. So I don't really want to unhook this line today, so I might just unbolt the caliper, spin the caliper until that line is happy, and reinstall it. And yeah, we will do the brakes once I get parts. But back to what I was saying. We also need to fix this coil spring as it is broken heavily. Up here we've got a little bit of mess. Some wiring connectors we need to clean up. That is a sensor for low fluid in your res tank. Anyways, just a few things we got to clean up here, and we obviously need to install a reservoir tank. This car didn't come with one. I believe it was destroyed in whatever accident wrecked that front rad support, which we already fixed in the previous video. More of the same on this side. This brake line's fine, but we need to bolt it on, and we got to fix this ABS sensor. Oh, and the other thing is this side, the inner fender is broken. You can see it doesn't exist beyond that point. So I have a new inner fender for it. I used new inner fender. And I have a splash shield to install. You guys may have noticed in the previous video it had just chunks of splash shield remaining. I removed those. And I ordered this one, a brand new, just a Dorman unit. We'll see how that fits up. And yeah, whatever other miscellaneous things we may find. But I would like to get the front end to some semblance of together, not hacked. And then when we get brakes, we can do those. So let's get into it. Start pulling those struts off. I think I've done this once before, and I'm pretty sure that bolt went to Narnia. It was nice knowing you. It was nice knowing you. Just kidding, I think I can see it. I don't think it ended up inside the unibody. Nope, I got it. Got him! So this is a first for me. There we got, there's our snapped point on our spring, which is okay. But look at the top hat. Does it look a little suspect to you? It should, because it's down here in pieces. There's the top part of the bearing, seals, and top hat just, you know, she's hanging out in the middle of the shock, which is, you know, not what you want. Usually. That's pretty dicked, I gotta say. Hopefully Rob's 8th Gen Emporium has a top hat. Guess we'll see. Anyway, let's blow this thing apart. There you have it. All the regular components of your Honda shock absorber. Shock doesn't appear to be leaking, so that's good. We'll give it a clean. I gotta try and find a top hat, and then here we've got a set of lowering springs, so we'll be putting those on. Oh, and I can hear my cat getting in a fight outside. Jackie, are you shit kicking that white cat again? You ran away, Jackie. You scared it. You okay, Jack? Why is your tongue hanging out? You okay? Come here. Jackie's very pissed off right now. She got in a fight. It's okay. It's all over. Yeah. Go in the shop, your favorite place. Let's put you on the roof of the Civic. Yeah, it's your favorite spot. Here, you have a little pillow. You sleep on the pillow. Jackie, come on, sit on the pillow. Oh, you're really upset, eh? Alright. Jackie just went under the car. She's gonna need a moment to cool off. It's all good. She'll come around. As I was saying, strut seems to be in okay shape. It's not leaking, so we'll give it a clean. We're gonna install the lowering spring. I got to source the top hat. And we'll see about bump stops. Alright, what do we got down here in my junk pile? I got one top hat. Maybe I got more than one. Oh, this guy's got multiple top hats. Look at this. What a day it is to be alive at Rob Races and Rebuilds. I have a set of bump stops that were already trimmed for Tein lowering springs, but the way Tein gets you to trim them, you trim off the softest portion of the bump stop. As such, you can see here there's a trimmed one and there's a non-trimmed one. You trim off the most compliant portion, and what happens is that gives you your room for travel, but when you are driving and you hit a bump and you come onto the bump stop without having that compliant part, it makes the ride really harsh. And when I had these springs in Shingo, that was definitely one of my complaints, was it didn't ride like a stock car. So I may do some fiddling around with my own style of trimming and see what we come up with. Anyways, let's clean some parts. They're filthy. Can't put it together like that. Give you guys a little Jackie update. She came up on top of the FG2 here under her pillow. She's looking a little happier. Hey, yeah, you're in a better mood now, hey? You're just a little rattled from the fight. Yeah, just a little rattled. But we're all good now. We're chilling in the shop, building Hondas, right, Jackie? Right, she's not very talkative. She's still not fully warmed up. Alright guys, there you have it. Strut's cleaned up. Now, there's just one thing I want to say here. I know it's tempting, even on a tight budget build, is guys want to go out and buy the cheapest set of coilovers because their old shocks are old and crusty looking, or want to go to Rock Auto and buy the cheapest new strut or quick strut you can buy. Don't do that, okay? I realize this has some surface rust on it, and it maybe doesn't look the prettiest. But these Honda shocks have actually really good dampening, and they're designed for the spring rate that's on these cars. If you go and get some cheap line strut off of Amazon, Rock Auto, whatever, it's generally going to be valved for a base model. It's not going to be set up for the SI spring. So you're going to get a lot of bounciness and pogoing, and it's not going to feel good. And then on the flip side of that, going to some cheap coilover just so you can slam your car out and be like, ooh, I got new shiny parts. Ain't doing you no favors either. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this strut. We do, as you can see, have one issue, I guess. I kind of lied. We do have a notch in our upper shaft there, which was probably from when the spring broke. This shock should never see that amount of travel with the bump stops and everything in it, so I'm not worried about it. And like I said, this shock does not leak. There's nothing physically wrong with the shock other than it's a little crusty looking. Who cares? This will outperform some $300 max speeding rod coilovers any day of the week. Okay, I went on Tein or Tein. I went on their website, and their spec is you're supposed to cut 25 millimeters off of the bottom, front and rear, and reinstall the top portion. So 25 mils is equal to 0.98 inches, so we'll call that an inch. This is a stock rear bump stop. This is a stock front bump stop. This is in really good shape. This isn't entirely accurate, I would say, due to just degradation and time. That's a little stubbier than it's supposed to be. These are the bump stops that were in Shingo when Shingo had these Tein lowering springs. So, if I measure, I'm like 1 inch and 5/8. So that's almost, there's more than ½ inch too short. So I don't know what Rob was smoking when he installed those in Shingo. But that might be part of the ride quality issue. And then if we go up to the front, like I said, I think this is a little stubbier than it should be. But our difference is 5/8 of an inch. So that's actually a little on the shy side. Like it almost should be trimmed more. But when you consider that this is probably normally a bit taller, I would say that that's actually on point. So I would say I'm going to run those bump stops. I've got a pair of them that came out of Shingo. That, or I stick with stock, which will probably kind of ride right on this softer portion, but it might help give the car some compliance. I don't know. I kind of want to experiment and just see. But out back, we will cut them to proper spec. I'm not going to cut these bump stops. You can't purchase rear bump stops from Honda, so I'm kind of saving these for H Street tunability. But the ones that are in the car currently, we will be able to tune, hopefully. So yeah, let's start assembling this shock. And then as you can see, Jackie's back in a good mood. She's ready to work on the shocks, aren't you, Jackie? Well, are you or not? Oh yeah, just knock the camera over. Okay, got our spring here. Now pay attention to the part number on your spring. Tein does this. I don't know if other brands do, but it does say -R, so this is for the right side. The other one has a -L for the left side. Okay guys, so I was having trouble fitting this spring perch onto our right hand spring. Like I was saying, there's a left and a right. I'm doing the right side of the car. This should work, but the pigtail didn't line up. And I was like, well, that's super strange. So then I look over and I look at the strut, and what do I notice on the strut? An L for the left side. So I was like, okay, someone put the struts on wrong. Come over to the right side of the old sieve. L. So I've got 2 left-handed struts. And I believe the strut is actually the same, but the top hat portion for the spring is not. The little isolator here. So I need to dig through my stuff and see what I got. But just to show you guys, on the other Civic here, you can see there's an L right there for left. Come around to the right side. And right there, there's an R. Knowing that we've seen the bent rod support, knowing that the washer bottle was destroyed, the inner fender was destroyed, and the spring was broken on this corner, obviously she spanked a ditch or something. Regardless, I need to figure out what I'm going to do here, because this isolator unit is gonna fuck me. Alright guys, plan acquired. So I have these quick struts here that are complete, but they will not work because they have their own proprietary universal, I know those are two contradictory words, little isolator things. Those will not work for what I want to do. I also have these weird booty bump stoppy things, but anyway, those won't work for our situation. My Coney yellows down here in the corner are front and right struts, so I might use those, I might not, but regardless, none of that helps us. Let me show you what helps us. So the red car, it has cheap aftermarket struts in it as well, but from what I can tell, they were not a quick strut. So someone bought just replacement struts and they actually used the factory Honda top hats and bump stops. So I'm going to pull these struts out so I can pillage them for their top hats and bump stops. And we'll take those crappy quick struts I have on the floor in the shop and we'll put them in this car so this car can keep rolling. I'm not going to film that because it's cold out here and I just want to get it done. So, I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, I got the top hats peeled off those other struts, and luckily they did still have their OEM spring isolator, so I actually now have a proper right side and a proper left side, and the bump stops actually seem to be in better shape on those too, so I'm probably going to run them. And even though they're cheap struts, they still had the OEM springs, so you can see this is the right spring, the pigtail's going the right way, so this will all work out. And I now have another set of OEM front springs. So, the one thing you might still be concerned about is I still have two left struts. So here is my left strut I pulled out of the right side of my car. And here is a right strut that's got a Coney yellow insert in it. And from what I can tell, having them side by side, there's actually no difference in the strut body itself. The ABS and brake line brackets are exactly the same. The perch on the base is the same. You can see they both tilt on the same angle. They still have the same little thing for the spring to go into. They're the same. I believe the only difference in the assemblies, if you were buying the assembly from Honda, would be this upper rubber spring isolator. That is the difference. So yes, this car is going to have two left struts, but it is going to have the proper isolators and springs in it, so everything will be hunky-dory. Let's throw these things together. And voila! Okay, with our strut assembly completed, we can throw it in the car. Be sure to point the arrow on your top hat forward. Alright, I actually was able to steal a few of these clips off of the ABS lines from that red coupe while I was out there grabbing the struts off of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and install those. Okay, with this side done, she's looking good. I've got the camber bolt in the upper side there. Like I think I said, the ABS line is tucked behind the brake line. I will have to fix that when I actually bleed these brakes. I'll have this brake line off, so I'll route that on the right side. But it's nice, I got OEM clips in all 3 locations, so that one is good to go. Winning, yeah. Well, time to do the other side, I guess. Oh, it's already done. So, same with this side. We've got the camber bolt in one on the top, stock bolt in the bottom. Got the brake line hooked up. Again, this ABS line is routed around the wrong side, but we'll fix that when we bleed the brakes. I replaced this clip and this clip. This one is half broken, so I might try and find a better one, but it is better than nothing. This one's good, and both of these here are broken. So I think on my next trip to the junkyard, which I'm hoping to have one soon here, I will get more of those OEM clips now that I know they're actually removable, and we'll be able to fix the ABS line properly with no zip ties. So with that being done though, I was thinking, well, why don't we throw on this inner fender on this side? Well, that started me down a rabbit hole. I walked around for probably 15 minutes looking for the inner fender. You think I put it in the trunk of this car? Nope. Trunk of that car? Nope. Trunk of the red car? Nope. Guess where it was? It was on the wood pile in the lean-to at the back. Just goes to show you, it's always in the 13th place you look. Get over yourself. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Hello. Oh. Uh-oh. That one broke. Oh, no. Oh, where you going, bud? Come back over here. You're allowed to leave. Come back. Come on back now. Well, sheesh, if this thing ain't destroyed. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Oh, goodness. I could have lost an eyeball. Where did that clip go? Where did it go? It's gone. To Narnia. Shoot. I think that was a good clip. Well, it's as you'd expect. Dirty. I gotta find that clip. Look at all the dirt we got in here. This is how you get rust, you know? I'm gonna start my own sand pit here. There's dirt in there. Cover your ears, it's gonna get loud. I'm gonna clean up some stuff, and then we're gonna fluid film the inside, and then we'll put in a new thinger. gotta clean the mud flap quick, and we'll throw the mud flap back on the car. And then our work here is done. Just to clarify, when I said clean the mud flap, I only meant the inside. The outside's still dirty. That might seem counterproductive, but we're kind of cleaning this car from the inside out. We will get to a point where we will be able to wash the outside. But right now, I don't want to wash the outside. It's not good enough to wash. So by the time we clean all these little parts, fix all these little things, maybe we'll have something worth washing. And just like that, we have an inner fender. Next, I'd say we install that brand new splash shield so that that's done. But I'm kind of thinking off camera, I might pull the other inner fender off the back near the mud flap. Just judging by the amount of dirt that was in this one, it'll probably be the same on the other side, and it's nice to clean that out every once in a while if you want your vehicles to not rust. I don't know about you, but I like mine not rusting. So, moving on. Any bets on how this fits? Made in Taiwan, but it is Dorman. Dorman's generally not bad, so I bet it's good 8.5 out of 10. Let's see. It's satisfying that with every bolt turned, every clip changed, every little part that goes on this car, it's getting better. So, looks great with a real splash shield in it now. Coming across the bottom, because that was always gone, right? Nice to see that complete, as well as this inner fender. I did a little more fluid filming in here off camera. I want to make sure it's good and saturated so this thing won't rust. And I just went out and pulled off this coolant reservoir, because obviously this car needs one. But unfortunately it was full of summer fluid, and she's a bit of a slushy icicle in there. So that's got to kind of defrost and melt. But in the meantime, we can kind of get prepped. This has a broken off nipple in it. This doesn't look like it's been plugged into anything since dinosaurs roamed the earth. And this connector seems stuck onto this sensor. So we can start getting that stuff prepped. And hopefully that melts sooner than later. Okay, that's all bolted on. Everything's plugged in. I've stuck in this top piece. It needs the trim and clip in here to stay. So that'll sit like that for now. But I just tucked the tube back into this winter windshield washer bottle. I'm going to turn the key on and hit it and see if it works or not. Pump sounds like it's running. Well, for sure it is. Oh yeah, you can see. This was empty before. I filled quite a bit back into there, so good. We have a washer tank again. This will get clipped in, like I said, once we put the trims back on. And yeah, we're good to go. You know how they say curiosity killed the camel? Well, curiosity got me. You know, we had all that dirt under the fender on that side. I'm like, well, there's got to be the same amount on this side. So, I go to take that lower bolt off. She snaps. Like that. So then, I'm like, okay, I got to take the whole fender off. So I'll clean it out good, and then, you know, I'll fix the bolt. Oh, it wasn't even dirty. That's all that came out of it. That's it. It's not that dirty. Waste of time. And I had to, you know, take all that off. But, hindsight, I can get rid of this goofy stereo wire that was in the inner fender for some reason. And now I can spend 16 years trying to get that broken bolt out. Party. Alrighty dudes, it's the next day. and if luck would have it, it snowed. Glad I pulled the parts off that red coupe yesterday when I did. Because if I was doing it today, I'd be working in the snow. Not fun. Allen didn't finish itself overnight, unfortunately. So, what can you do? I think we left off by rethreading that hole that I broke the bolt off in. So that's fixed. I've thrown some cavity wax on a few areas here. Jackie's in the shop. So yeah, we gotta slap this headlight in, fender back on, fender liner, mud flap, put all that back together so that it's complete again. I think at that point we can drop her on the ground and see what our lowering springs look like, see what our camber is looking like, and yeah, go from there. We're making progress, Jackie. We're making progress. Alright, there you have it, guys. She's back on the ground. She's got the face down, ass up going on, but obviously we'll get to installing the rear springs at a later date. I have a bunch of work that I need to do on the back of the car, so I'll probably back it in so that the back is facing my bench, and we'll knock out all the back stuff at once. So right now we're still working on the front. But yeah, it looks pretty good, I would say. Again, it's super nice to have the front closeout panels and inner fenders and washer bottle. Having everything in there is much nicer, much more finished look. And then having the ride height be even in the front's nice too. So, yes, Jackie. I just brought in this other silver hood I have outside. This is the one from that car originally, so it is smashed up here as you can see. But we need to rob the corner seals, the rad support seals, and the insulation off of it, because this hood does not have it. So that'll be another finishing touch. Let's throw that on right meow. Okay, I'm gonna run out to the red car and see if there's one more of the hood grommet clips, because I broke one and we are missing this rubber seal right here. So let's see if I can find that. Alright, I went and pulled everything out of the trunk here that's related to the front cowling area. Everything's in pretty good shape. I do need to replace this one clip here, which you see I've already got it out. But I want to clean all this stuff right up and then install it on the car. The only thing I can't install is this piece right here, but I figured I might as well clean it while I'm cleaning all this other crap. I can't install that closeout panel until the front bumper's on the car. And I'm still at a loss of what to do with the front bumper because of that big hole. So I don't know yet. That'll be a later episode. I'm still holding out to hopefully find a good used one in my color, but so far, not so lucky. Alrighty guys, as you just seen there, we got the cowl all mounted up. I had a bit of a brain fart, and for some reason I mounted the center first before the sides. Don't know what I was thinking there, but anyway. We got it all mounted. It looks great. Cleaned it up with that purple degreaser. I was able to use factory clips along each side. We got the new reservoir tank clipped in there. Fortunately, I didn't have enough clips to do the back section, so I just used black zip ties, but they blend in pretty nice. And they obviously secure it good, so. I know it was probably just a lot of small stuff in this video, but all the little things add up to a lot of progress, and details is what makes a nicer car. And I'm feeling a lot better about this car already just at this point, so. With every episode, Alan is getting less dumpster fire SI and more project car SI. So, I think that'll be it for this video though, guys. I appreciate you all watching, and hope you're enjoying the content on the budget FG2. If you are, consider leaving a like on the video. It does help me out. Boost the algorithm. And yeah. Comment if you have something good or bad to say. I'm here for it all. Anywho, like I said, that's it for this episode. Hopefully I can catch you guys in the next one where we'll be improving, fixing, etc. Something else on this car, so. Peace out, guys. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.